Hello YouTube, and welcome to episode 1 of Let's Play Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Come, let us record your adventures in this journal. It shall be known as the Crystal Chronicles. But first, we must know the name of your hometown. As you might know, or might be able to tell, I'm just going to be reading a lot of the text that's on the screen. Not exactly everything, but a lot probably. Now, for this game, we get to name our village, and I'm not going to leave it as the same old Tipa, or Tippa, or however you pronounce that. But in fact, I'm going to call this place Washer. And if you get that reference, then that is awesome. Because I'm probably going to pretty much explain it right now. Somewhere out there, there is a town called Dryard. And the people who made that town made mention of something about there's not being a town called Washer. So I decided, hey, I'm going to call my town Washer, because I'm terrible at naming things. Now, year 1, the morning of our departure was here at last. I tried to brace myself for the journey ahead. There was a field along the main road where we decided to camp until sunrise. Tomorrow we set out in search of myrrh. Okay. Speaking of set out, this is actually what we have to do. And it's interesting that the game starts technically before you even make any characters. And now is when you make characters. Now, as you might have noticed, I'm going to be playing this one player with 2 controllers, with 2 people. So it's just me playing. It's just me using 2 controllers. Now, hopefully, if I can do this right, then I'm going to wait for it. Okay. Then now I'm going to switch over to Facecam, or I'm using my 3DS to record this. So this is just the, what you call it, SP, Game Boy Advance SP. What is this? Sorry, can't talk and do this at the same time. This is just the 3DS recording the Game Boy Advance SP, because in this game there's a lot of stuff that happens on the SP screen, which is actually the controller, that you don't see, which I'll explain in a second. That should say Patrick, yes, okay. Now looking at this one, this is actually, in case you can't tell, silver one, technically kind of mine, and the pink one is my girlfriend's, which is why it's pink. And I'm just showing you this a little bit so you know what is going on. Oops. Now, I don't really have much room on the 3DS to do much, or to record for much longer. So I'm just going to cut it right here just for a second, for me to delete some info stuff on the SD card, which I should have done earlier, but I didn't really check it until now. So I'm just going to do a little jump cut. Alright, so as you can see on the screen, which I'll show now, nothing's really happening. So back on the 3DS, or on the SP really, going to be male for him and then female for her, just because. Now there's 4 races you can choose: Clavet or Clavat, Lil T, Yuke, and Selkie. They each have their own strengths and weaknesses, but they're not too different. I like to go with the Clavat, and headband, I pretty much always choose headband. So I'm going to go, yeah, I'll stick with headband, because I just like the way that one looks, which I'll show now on the TV. That's how he looks. Okay. Now back to here, there's the family trade, which you have 8 options. Now, if you're really going to try for like the ultimate weapon and ultimate armor and everything, then you're going to need the blacksmith, the tailor, the merchant, and the alchemist. Now you can only choose one, so I'm going to choose the blacksmith for my male Patrick person. Say yes, and then he is created. Now for this one, I'm also going to be a Clavat for the girl, and I think this is the one that I like. Yeah, that one's good. show you on the screen for a second. Okay, now back to the family trade. Because I was already blacksmith with the other character, I can't choose it, which is pretty smart, because you don't want two blacksmiths, because one is just fine. Now I'm going to use an alchemist as this one, because I should have said blacksmith lets you forge armor and weapons, and now the alchemist gives you the recipes, or the plans to make those weapons and armor. Alright, so now everything's back on the main screen. Alright, so now it's just showing me, Patrick, they're both me technically. It says, today you finally step out into the world in search of murder. You come safely back to water, alright? That's funny, my name's Christy. I shouldn't, now I'll talk about it later. Should you find any materials for smithing, bring them back to us. We'll forge you a fine weapon. Don't worry, I'll take care of Mother and Father. If you make any friends out there, be sure to bring them around. As you can tell, I'm terrible at voice acting, but be sure to eat well. And then I walk away from my family, never to be seen again. Just kidding. Patrick, the blacksmith's son, is sent off by his father Arion, his mother Christy, his brother Ramsey, and his brother Samuel. I could have sworn that was a girl. But okay. It's pretty decent and regular-ish names. Some of the other races, crazy names. Alright, so now we're so proud of you, Lynn. Today you set out with the Crystal Caravan. I'll be worrying about you. Do be careful out there. I'll never forgive myself if you get hurt. Is traveling fun? You have to tell me all about it when you get back. Oh, the caravan, how exciting. Yeah. May you return with a chalice full of myrrh. We believe in you, Lynn. Father's name is Belgano. Lynn, the alchemist's daughter, is sent off by her father Belgano, her mother Harmia, her brother Larkin, and her sister Polly. That one was a girl. One with the hat hood thing in blue, even though the other one much more feminine, at least in my opinion. Alright, so now we're finally setting out on our grand adventure away from Washer. And then in our first step, something happens and we encounter something which probably happens more often than they like. And here's kind of our first cutscene. It's not really a cutscene, but I'll call it one. Hail, fellow caravanners. You are the caravan from Washer, are you not? I heard they were sending out a new caravan. You seem quite capable. My name is Solrat. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I pronounce it Solrat, or Rot, or Sol. I am captain of the caravan from the great fortress Alphataria. Yeah, Alphataria. At Alphataria. Our caravan boasts a history that stretches back thousands of years. But let us discuss that some other time, because apparently it's not important enough for everyone to know. Steelskin, do you have a moment? This is the caravan from Washer. Come on, say hello. Allow me to introduce Steelskin. I'll remove those here, remind me of Timo. He may not look it, but he is a seasoned adventurer. Even we turn to him for counsel from time to time. Why would you do that? Now I'm just a moogle that likes to go around. Get around. No, I'm just... anyways, I learned all sorts of things in my travels before I knew it. How does that make sense? I'm on my way somewhere right now, but I can teach you a thing or two if you like. I'm going to say okay to the tutorial, just so that, you know, it's on the Let's Play and whatnot. Now this first episode, it's still kind of the intro. I'm probably not going to get to any of the real action by the time this video ends. But, you know, video 2, that'll be good. Well, let's find a better spot. If you already know how to play this game, and you're just watching it for the sake of watching it for some reason, then you could probably just skip ahead to the next episode. I'll probably cut it right before I get into the actual fighting level episode. I'll explain more later if you don't understand. Look, if you want to ask me something, come here and press the B button, okay? Basically, he said, okay, I'm going to teach you stuff. And then you have to actually go up and talk to him. Oops. B. So what do you want to know? About the world. Let's get to the lore. About the world, one miasma and crystals. Our world is covered in miasma. Sustained contact with miasma gradually drains your life, basically like poison air. Crystals protect us from the miasma. Towns big and small each maintain a crystal to hold it out. You see, crystals must be purified with myrrh once a year, or they lose their brilliance. Crystal caravanners like you journey to seek out that myrrh. Drops of myrrh are gathered in the crystal chalice. The chalice not only carries myrrh, but it also protects the caravan from miasma. The goal of your journey is to find mer trees all over the world, and you guessed it, your path to the mer trees is blocked by hordes of monsters. I don't think anyone was guessing that at that moment. You need to fill your chalice with myrrh before bringing it back to your village, but each tree yields only a tiny drop of myrrh at once. That's totally inefficient. So you must find several myrrh trees in order to fill your chalice with myrrh. Once you draw myrrh from a tree, it can take as long as 2 years for it to replenish itself. It always takes 2 years, so keep looking for other trees. Are you ready for the second step? Yes! About the world, 2 miasma streams and hotspots. Great torrents called the streams of miasma cut through the world, dividing it into sections. Each miasma stream possesses a certain element. To cross the stream and enter the lands beyond, you must change Crystal Chalice's element to match that of the stream. There are 4 elements: fire, earth, water, and wind, which are always the elements. I think they're from Greece. They are Greek elements. Anyways, if you're trying to cross a stream of fire, your chalice had better be of fire too. You can tell what your chalice's current element is by the color of its aura. So how do you change the chalice's element? Well, you can place the chalice on platforms called hotspots. Doing so will change the element of your chalice to that of the hotspot. Once your chalice's element matches that of the stream you want to cross, go ahead and rush through. Also, once you've drawn myrrh from a particular place, you can change your element by simply visiting that place again, which will make more sense later. So press B to pick it up, over here, press B to drop it, and voila! My crystal element changes to water. And then just toss it down on him again. Alright, so how to wield weapons. Wielding weapons 1. Physical attacks. Select attack from your command list and press the A button to attack with your weapon. You can unleash combo attacks if you press the A button repeatedly with the right timing. So, just once, twice. Okay, that was 3 times. I'm just in the habit of attacking like that. Alright, so that's pretty simple. Alright, you can't just mash A, you have to do it kind of in a rhythm. But the rhythm's pretty easy to get down once you've been playing as long as I have, which is a really long time. So, wielding weapons 2. Focus attacks. Use focus attacks to defeat powerful enemies. Hold down the A button until you see a targeting ring appear. Move the ring with the D-pad and line it up with an enemy. Release the A button to unleash your attack. Now, something that he didn't really say anything about is that you're supposed to stay within this little circle here. But when you're outside, normally you'll start losing health. But because this is a safe zone and it's just for practice, then it doesn't get hurt. Alright, so now this is the charge focus attack where you're just holding A, and you can move that cursor circle thing around with your D-pad, like we said. And just wham! Just attack him. Yeah, anyways. It'd be nice if it actually said like 1 out of 3, and then 2 out of 3, or however many it's going to take. 4. Okay. Okay, that's enough. 1 was enough. Well, that's all I have to say about using your weapons in combat. All necessary. Okay. How to cast spells. Casting spells, setting commands, and casting spells. Okay, in order to cast spells, you have to add them to your command list. This list determines what the A button does. I should have talked about that earlier, but now he's going to talk about it now. You can cycle through the actions on the list with the L and R buttons. Press select to use the main menu. Then open the command list menu. If you're already in a different submenu, press the L and R buttons to cycle through to the one you want. Aside from the attack and defense slots, you can customize the command list with any magicite, or items you like. So if you want to cast spells, pick magicite. If you pick up magicite while your command list has empty slots, its spell will appear on the command list automatically. Once you're done, press select again to return to the game screen. Alright, let's give it a shot. You can cycle through different commands for the A button by pressing the L and R buttons. So press the L button or R button until attack changes to fire. Casting spells is similar to unleashing focus attacks. Just hold down the A button and move the targeting ring to beat the enemy, then release the A button. Alright. So for this, I'm going to go back to the 3DS. Yes, technically the 3DS, but I'm looking at the SP, as you can see. So this is what your screen looks like. It looks a little bit on this one because it's brighter, but I'm sorry, go back to this one. So you can see the stats, your strength, defense, and magic. Mine is 21, 24, 13, and yours is the same because we're the same person and whatnot. Or not the same person, but the same class. Alright. What do I do? Alright, select. And then nothing changes on the screen except for right there, that little GBA thing. When you press select, it switches. And then on the game, on the main TV, you can see that it's when you press select and go to your GBA, it has a little GBA in front of your face and lets you know, hey, you're supposed to be looking at the GBA. So yeah, here. Now then you press the R button. Yes, that was my finger. Attack, defend, and fire. Then still the same stats and stuff. Magicite or Magicite of fire. Then an empty slot. Alright, so that's pretty much all you need to know. Should I press something? Okay. And press select back to go back to here. And then we'll go back to the main screen. Alright, so now when I press L and R, yeah, my L button doesn't work very well. But when I press R, it works fine. Defend, you just put up your shield, which you should have talked about when you're, wielding your weapon. And fire, which, like, focus attack, you can go like that. And right on, and whatnot. Yeah, and it's not really moving that fast. Not even attacking, what kind of monster is this? Alright. 4 times, I'm guessing? 5 times. Unless I miscounted. 6, okay, not 5 times. Magic Blast! Let me tell you about Magic Blast. They're an important facet of multiplayer mode. By coordinating your spellcasting, you can inflict even greater damage. First, everyone select fire from the command list. Hold down the A button and targeting will appear. Then everyone place your rings together. Once selected, they'll change color, and that's when you all let go of the A button. It's important to coordinate your tactics. If you don't time it right, your blast will fail. Alright, so until now, I've just been using my one-person controller, but now I'm going to be using 2, which is a little more difficult than most people might think, maybe a little easier. So that is Fyra, because this is, Final Fantasy, and what kind of Final Fantasy games have magic spells that have Ra and Aga to introduce their stronger forms. Now, something I should mention is that there is a limit on how far you can move it, or like, not like how long you can move it, but how far away from you it can move. There's like a little radius. So when both people are kind of out of the range, then, yeah, okay, think you got it? Try using that in battle. Yeah, it's a lot more difficult. That's all I have to say about casting magic in battle. By the way, any magicite you find will disappear once you reach its native area, which doesn't make any sense to me other than the game requires that you need to do that. Right, so that's it. Well, I'll be going now. Leaving already? You bet. New diary entry. Right, maybe we keep a diary, and it's not called like New Chronicle entry or something. Liquid Chronicles. Diamond Diaries or something. That'd be funny if we made like a parody spin-off game called Diamond Diaries. Alright, so this will be the end of the episode 1, which really could have been the intro video, but I'm going to leave this as episode 1. Episode 2 will be when we finally get into Riverbell Path. That is Riverbell Path, right? It's not pronounced differently. Bay. I don't know why that would be pronounced. Well, I kind of know, but anyways. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.